Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clint Zoka, and today, for my thoughts on it's not going to be a normal one. Actually, it's actually going to be my thoughts on a film that I loved when I was a kid, about 7 or 8, and it's also my birthday today. So, if you could give me a happy birthday in the comments, which I know you will, then that'll be much appreciated. And I know what you're thinking. If it's your birthday today, then why did you pick Pixar's Wall-E? Well, there's more. I can go into more detail, but to put it short, and if this takes a little long, then I apologize. But this movie was huge when it came out in 2008. I remember getting some of the toys. I remember playing the game. I remember the trailer, the advertisements. I remember being shown on television. I remember the posters as well. This is the same with Ratatouille as well. This is back when Pixar and Disney were successful and huge, and I don't know. Wally just kind of stuck with me for some reason. I don't know why, but now that I've rewatched it, not too long ago actually, I can definitely see why. So, what is Wally about? Well, the humans who have left Earth after a incident because they left Earth to go into space to do nothing and let the machines do all the work because Earth is not getting much plant life, and well, all the robots from B&L, or by and large the Wallies, have all been destroyed except for one named, well, Wally, and all he does is just do his day-to-day life, combining scrapped objects, props, into one and just make buildings out of them. He finds useful things to amuse himself, to fix himself, to amuse his little cockroach pet, which is pretty cute. And then another robot comes to Earth named Eve, who's looking for something that resembles to plant life, so he can go back to the axiom. I think that's how you pronounce it. So he can show the captain that there is still life on Earth, and they can still go back and leave the axiom behind, and try and make the Earth more how it is today. And then Wally has a bit of a love relationship with Eve, and he kind of falls in love with her, which is, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually pretty cute. Okay, so this this kind of thing sounds a bit controversial, right? True, but does this film do it in the most blatant, harmless way? Not really, actually. It actually touches upon a lot of information that is even irrelevant today. It has a clever and pretty thought-provoking commentary on how humans are doing so little to help the environment, how machines will probably take over the future, and how we should leave it to them and let them decide. So much, and then they think, I'm not a person who's really into politics and all that, but this film actually handles handles Earth, handles how people don't do much to help the environment. They don't give life to Earth. They just leave it behind and just go into a whole new world and just let the machines do all the work. I like how it just. I like how it acknowledges that, and it shows that we should be doing more than letting them do it for us. So Pixar's not doing it in a lazy way. They're bringing this commentary in to show that we should be doing more, and we shouldn't be letting the earth die, and we should be, making it healthy by planting more seeds and to bring it life and all that. Because you could still make something that seems gone, back. While in the Axiom, which seems like the best and funnest place you'll ever be at, back on Earth seems to be really dusty, old, broken, destroyed. Not much to do on there except Wally does his job just how he does his job. Honestly, I'm not joking. I actually had a little bit of a Isle of Dogs thought to this because these two films are a little similar with their commentary. While Isle of Dogs one may not be quite straightforward, this one does make sense and it does prove the point further. Although Isle of Dogs one is also very good as well, but this one actually is a lot more important, and I can see why people can appreciate this film. Not to mention that the plot about Wally trying to save Eve from the Axiom is also very well and cleverly handled. It has some surprisingly funny moments, although it doesn't do them a lot. Mostly it's visual gags, which I think is clever, but whew, the first 20 to 30 minutes until Wally gets on the Axiom is some of the most magical, thought-provoking, cute, emotional, brilliant stuff I've seen in cinema. This is what I think of when I think of films. I think of visuals. I don't think of dialogue. I don't think of talking. I think of seeing characters express their emotions by their expressions on their face, their feelings, their moods, their... You know what I mean, but I wish more films can do that. I mean, I know like Shaun the Sheep does it for comedy purposes. This one, I think, could actually work if it was just no talking at all. I mean, I'm fine with the talking, and when he gets on the ship, everyone... There's humans there who are all fat and they don't do much. They don't move a lot. But when Eve comes down and when Wally tries to impress her without no dialogue or very little, it's just moving magic, and it's just absolutely wonderful. Although when he gets on the Axiom, it's not as amazing, but still surprisingly enjoyable, engaging, thought-provoking, and even touching too. You really root for these characters to try and succeed and try and bring the plant back to the captain so they can go back to Earth and make it good as new. I mean, yeah, there is an obvious villain, but we'll get to that in a bit. So, what can I say? I'm happy that they actually put it in not a environment commentary that's not actually awful or hammered in. Even the comedy is actually subtle. I think that's one of the many words I can describe the film. It's very subtle about what it's trying to accomplish. And it does that with the writing and the direction of Andrew Stanton. I think he accomplished everything he wanted in the film. Surprisingly, very well. Animation. Wow. I mean, wow. I know I said Incredibles looked amazing. I'll admit it hasn't aged badly, it just doesn't look as good as it was back then. This film still looks amazing. It hasn't actually aged badly or anything, it still looks good. And another thing about the first 20 to 30 minutes, which I want to mention here, is atmosphere. When you're down on Earth with Wally, you see the atmosphere and you see how it has its ups and downs and its creative sides, like the other Wally bots that have been destroyed and the garbage. Although inside Wally's home is a bit more colourful, creative, and kind of clever as well. When Wally tries to impress Eve, that can get a little creative and fun to look at times. But on the Axiom is where things get really colourful. It looks bright, colourful, amazing. It feels like you're... I don't know how to say it. It feels like you're in a different world. And that's what I love about this film. It has so much atmosphere on Earth and on the Axiom. It has like a bit of a... I don't know really. It just feels like you're in a different world when you leave Earth to go to the Axiom with the other humans and robots. It feels like you're going from one place to another. And while Earth can look a bit broken, dusty, and you know, apocalyptic. It can look pretty nice to look at with its atmosphere, but in space, when Wally has the fire extinguisher and Eve tries to save him, it has some really magical and really visually stunning moments, and in the Axiom looks fantastic. The robots look very good as well, with Wally's very realistic and very rusty design. Eve's mostly white, but very futuristic look. The rest of the robots have a very creative design as well, and they all stand out like the rest. The human characters have that very Pixar look to them, although not the best character designs. Even though I know Incredibles and Incredibles 2 is better, but they still look good. They all stand out, and it makes sense why they look like that and why they look similar. The backgrounds do look gorgeous and wonderful to look at. At times, the film can look very nice to look at, and is also pretty well shot. Even if it isn't live action, it's I don't know, it just kind of accomplishes that. What else? Also, it's a very bright film. It's a very bright and colourful and nice film to look at. I know I keep saying that a lot, but damn it, this film is just so gorgeous. Well, I mean, knowing Pixar, you think I'm going to say it's amazing. Well, it is. I mean, it's bright, colourful, beautiful, atmospheric. It has wonderful designs on these robots, and they all stand out. The humans may not look as good as them, but they still look identifiable, and I can understand why they look like that and all that. But the animation still proves that Pixar can do anything, even the impossible. Even if it's from 2008, it still looks freaking believable. Characters. Let's start off with our main title character, Wally, who seems like the down on his luck, far too nice and just hard-working guy, or in this case, robot. Oh man, if you were to tell me which robot was the cutest in film, I know this is going to be a kind of a cliche, but it's easily Wally. I mean, come on, you can't hate him. He's just a really likable, sympathetic, and just all around lovely character. He goes to work every day. He does what he's required to do, and when he meets Eve, he feels like he has more of a purpose. He does have some surprisingly good comedy moments, but they're pretty subtle on his case. And I love Wally. I think he may be simple, but there's a little more to him than meets the eye. And I think he's probably one of my favourite main protagonists from Pixar. Eve is pretty much the same. She may be chaotic, but she's lovely, caring, endearing, and the chemistry between her and Wally is actually cute and really, well, no, not cute, adorable. It's absolutely adorable, and it's so caring, it's so wonderful, and it brings a lot of emotion and a lot of charming and beautiful moments in the film. And I think those two, along with the 20 to 30 minutes of the film, is what makes this movie magic. Along with the animation, that is also movie magic as well. Other characters like, the cockroach is just there for comedic purposes, but effective. Mole doesn't do much until near the end, and I don't know, they could have left him out, but I'm glad he's there, but he didn't do much. The ones that actually do have more of a purpose is the captain, who actually wants to go back to Earth, while these autopilot steering wheel named Otto, let's see what they did there, actually wants to stay on the ship because he thinks Earth has already been destroyed and toxic, is already full of garbage and waste, and he wants everyone to stay on the ship and never return to Earth. Although and spoiler alert, he's the villain. His plan makes sense, but the villain himself, he doesn't really do much for me. He's just kind of there. I know he's just a robot and all. He talks like this with no real emotion, except for when he says no or Captain, Captain. I don't know. I thought he was good, but not like who. He's not Lotso Hugging Bear or Charles Muntz really good villain. He's better than he's better than Screenslaver and Jackson Storm. I'll give him that. The rest of the characters, there's like John and Mary who are pretty cute together. They're kind of there to bring the commentary of being together and doing more than what they're already doing. Same with the captain, who wants to find more hope and more of a good chance to go back to Earth and then stay on the same ship and do nothing. The robots that accompany Wally and Eve, except for Mo, they have a time to shine and they do some pretty cool stuff, and can bring some good laughs and makes the film very creative in what they do with ordinary objects and props. Not to mention the voice acting's mostly good. For the robots, they do sound exactly like robots, especially when they say, when Wally says Wally or Eve says Eve. It sounds very realistic and it doesn't sound phoned in. The voice acting on the captain and the other humans sound pretty much what you expect, and they still do a good job. John Ratzenberg, or was it Ratzenberger as John, is always good. I mean, he is. Was it Pixar's Lucky Charm or National? I'm gonna go with Lucky Charm because he's in every film from Pixar. He's Ham from Toy Story. He's P.T. Flea from Bug's Life. The Yeti from Monsters Inc. He's that group of fish in Finding Nemo. He's the Underminer from The Incredibles. He's Mac from the Cars franchise. He's the waiter from Ratatouille. He's the construction worker that Carl talks to in Up. Who else? I think he played a Scottish character in Brave. Trying to think. Inside Out, he played. I forgot who he played in Inside Out, but it's one of them like characters with arms and legs as sticks. He played the Velociraptor in The Good Dinosaur. I think he played Crab in Finding Dory. In Coco, I think he played just some random skeleton, and in The Incredibles 2, he is Underminer again. So, yeah, as you can tell, he's pretty much in every Pixar film, whether it's the same character or not. He's always in there. All the characters have something to offer that's either memorable or just you like it. But Wally and Eve, they're the ones I think just bring the film into a huge level, and they bring so much love and so much care and so much passion and so much likability to them that I think it makes the film worthwhile. Not to mention some other characters can bring the commentary pretty strong, and that's what makes these characters highly memorable and very well written. Maybe except for the villain, but you see where I'm getting at this point. Whew. Wow. What has it been like? I don't know, it feels like 10, 11 years since this film came out. It's still pretty strong and highly memorable. WALL-E's one of my favourite Pixar films. I would put it at 5, but even though I love all of them except for a few, equally, it has an engaging plot that's both lovely, relevant, if you will. It has environmental commentary that's clever and well thought, and it's put into the film with so much accuracy and so much thought. The animation looks magnificent. Eve and Wally are both lovely and cute together, and I think they bring the film into its enjoyable and relatable moments, while the rest of the characters have time to shine and they have a big part to play, whether it's for the commentary or whether it's just to make the film enjoyable. Not to mention, Thomas Newman's score is magnificent. So if you haven't seen this film, what the heck are you doing? Go watch it. Go watch it. It is a wonderful and an animated classic. If you've seen it, let me know what you think, because I'm quite curious to know. Also, happy birthday, me! Yay! And with a highly memorable Pixar film, this one gets a 10. I know it's a cliche, and I know the film can be kind of considered overrated, but just by how beautiful, memorable, funny, enjoyable, and how clever it is with its commentary, I think this should be remembered. I don't know what I'm going to review next, so I'll just review whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And until next time, Wally. Bye for now. That's not quite the best Wally. That's, I can't do Wally. No, I tried. Forgive me.